Do you love an Italian league save? Well, look no further than the top 5 clubs you can rebuild in Football Manager 2023 now in the Italian football pyramid. First up on this rebuild list, and it's no surprise, it's Parma. They have an absolute incredible history with some of the best players in world football playing for them in the past. Fabio Cannavaro, Hernan George Crespo, Faustino Asprilla, just to name a few, Thomas Brolin, Gigi Buffon, who is at the club now, back in where he made his name. And they're languishing in Serie B as well. Can you bring them back to Serie A and bring them back to European football where they were absolutely class with the likes of Lilian Thuram in that squad as well back in the day? Talking of Gigi Buffon earlier, he is still a class goalkeeper at 44 years of age. You can't do better than that in the Italian second division, in my opinion. They've got some great young players as well. Below, I've definitely ruined his name, but he's an absolute class centre-back, Hungarian international, only 20 years of age. Bright future ahead of him. Other players that stick out to me is Dennis Mann, an absolute baller of a Romanian right winger. He's probably one of Romania's best players and probably their brightest talent currently in world football. And then to top it all off, up front, you've got experienced Roberto Inglese, who will get you goals in Serie B. He's not a bad player. Don't let those stats fool you. On Football Manager, he always scores. Can you bring Parma back to the big time and win it all with them? Another iconic Italian side that you can rebuild in Football Manager 23 is Palermo. Those pink shirts are absolutely class. And in the early 2000s, they were everywhere. I couldn't go anywhere without seeing one. That's what originally got me into the club. Edison Cavani used to play for them. Paolo Dybala, Luca Toni, some absolute icons they've had over the years. They're currently in Serie B after being promoted from Serie C last season. And their squad looks like a Serie C squad. Although they've got some decent players, don't let that fool you. Ionut Nedalescaru, I've definitely ruined that name, is a decent centre-back, Romanian international. He's got class at this level. You've also got former Manchester City Academy baller, Claudio Gomez, decent central midfield player. He could do bits for you in Serie B this season. Their front line isn't the best, though. You're going to need reinforcements up front. Tutino on loan from Parma looks fairly decent at 25 years old, but they are in the same division as you. So them loaning you this player really means that he's probably not good enough for this level, despite his big transfer value. Can you take Palermo back to Serie A and back into European football and back among the big names of the Italian clubs? Venezia are my third choice, the hipsters' choice of football clubs due to their absolutely beautiful designs of their shirts in recent years. Football hipsters love a bit of Venezia, and there's no reason why you shouldn't be managing them in FM23. They're currently in Serie B, along with the other recommendations so far, and they've had Alvaro Recoba play for them in the past. And if you know about Recoba, you know he was an absolute baller back in the day. Their squad really isn't the best, but they do have some decent players in there. Jesse Joronen, the goalkeeper, Finnish international, is fairly good at Serie B level, so you've got a good man between the sticks. Looking at the rest of their squad, Magnus Kofod is absolutely underrated. He's been absolutely class for me on a few saves this season, and he will be definitely more than good enough for you in this Venezia save, in Serie B and in Serie A as well. Denis Cheryshev, the Russian winger, has been absolutely at most clubs in his career. Valencia, Villarreal, has done decent jobs for them. Now he finds himself at Venezia. Can he lead your club to victory in Serie B? And then Dashwan Redan is a very good young Dutch forward that was previously at Hertha Berlin. Now he's in the Serie B. He's one that could really develop, very pacey, decent finishing. He's going to be your main man for a fair few seasons to come. Can you take the hipsters' favourite team all the way up to Serie A and beyond? Sampdoria in Serie A are my next choice. Like a few of the other clubs in Italy, they've had some absolute legends play for them. Gianluca Pagliuca, the goalkeeper, Gianluca Vialli, Roberto Mancini, just to name a few, including the likes of Ruud Gullit as well. They've had some absolute top players play for them. But now, looking at them, their team is not very good for Serie A. You will struggle in the first season with them. Emil Oduro is a fairly good goalkeeper at this level. I would say he'd be your number one for a couple of seasons. He always develops fairly well as well. And he is only 25, so give him time. He could be a top-class goalkeeper. Jason Murillo, the old Colombian centre-back. He's not that old. He's only 30, but for FM players, we know that is fairly old. He'll be fairly good for you at this level. Again, he's more Serie B at this age of his career, but he could be one that you could have in the first season. One of Tottenham's brightest prospects back in a few seasons ago, Harry Winks, on loan from Spurs, 10 England caps, 1 goal. Can this man make your team tick? He's a decent deep line playmaker, especially for the likes of the level that you're currently at with Sampdoria. He will be a decent player for you in the first season. Up front is where you're really going to struggle. Can you get the best out of Jesse? One of the players that had the best potential at Barcelona, but didn't really live up to it due to his attitude and outside of football commitments. He's not really done anything in the last few seasons. Had a decent season at Las Palmas in 2020, but apart from that, nothing stands out. Can you get the best out of this man? And then you've got the legend that is Fabio Quagliarella, who's still going at 39 years of age. Can you get the best out of him for one more season and get him to score the goals you need to push yourself up the Serie A table? My last choice is Fiorentina. What a club they are. They've had some absolutely top ballers play for them. Just to name off a few, Dunga, Adrian Mutu, Francesco Taldo, the legend that is Rui Costa, Gabriel Batistuta. What a striker he was, and what a career he had at Fiorentina as well. They're currently in Serie A, but they need a lot of work. Their squad isn't the best, but they do have some talented youngsters that could get you through the first few seasons. Dodo normally is one of the best right backs on Football Manager, coming from Shakhtar. Absolutely class right back. He's going to be your mainstay for many, many years to come, and he will develop into a Brazilian international. Other players that they've got that you could really get the best out of is Nikola Milenkovic, solid centre-back, one of the best centre-backs on the game, in my opinion. And you can pick him up fairly cheap if you haven't had him before. But in this save, he will get you so many clean sheets. Mandragona, what a player he is. Italian international, former Juventus player. Went to Torino, now he's at Fiorentina. Can you get this guy back to his full potential? He was once picked as one of the best young players in Italy. And then up top, you've still got some good ballers up there. You've got the mercurial Luka Jovic, who's still only 24 years of age. That move to Real Madrid really did ruin his career. Now he's back at Fiorentina. And can he get the goals that you need to push on to win European competitions and push you up in the top of Serie A? And if he doesn't do it for you, you've got players like Jonathan Ikone, one of the best wingers to come out of Lille in years, only 24 years of age. One of the best French players on the game as well, in my opinion. And then not to be underrated, Arthur Cabral, who came from Basel. He could be a great backup option if you can get Jovic firing again. Now, this is my last choice on the Serie A save. Let me know if you've done any of these before, and if you have, how you got on in the comments below. But I will see you on another FM Save Ideas video.